I'm the worst ever. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I suck. I apologize. But I am here. Oh, Lola, do you have to beat the shit out of your stuff right now, bro? I don't think you do. Okay. Let's get back into... clearly I was looking at night earlier. Sorry about that. Had to look and see what was going on with their crazy ass filing, but we're gonna get into the Minnesota stuff. Sue, yes, I am here, and I am... your call is important to us. Oh my goodness, I'm out of control. I did. Please hold. Alright, we're gonna go over the Minnesota stuff. So I'm gonna go down to where I started recording again and putting all of this stuff together here. Let me make sure that I shared sound. I don't think that I did. Stop sharing. Share again, because I want you guys to hear some of these videos. It's a little fucking crazy. Alright. No. Is this it? Yeah, here we go. Alright, I saved him, and then that's the one we watched. Okay, so here is what I've been looking at. Mike Urban, who is dealing with Massachusetts. These are the daycares in Massachusetts. He says, Boston area daycare update. From 1980 to 2020, there were 2,300 licenses issued. That's roughly around 57 per year over the course of 40 years. From 2020 to 2025, there were 1,627 licenses issued. Can you imagine? That is a 4-time jump over the course of 5 years. Here's where it gets interesting. The fraud that he's tracking isn't looking like Minnesota, at least not the daycares close to Boston. It won't be one big facility with 25 to 50 kids where someone is gaming the system. Around Boston, it'll be much, much smaller but wider in scale. Apartments, home-based operations, 10 kids max. And he goes on to show, look at this here. Look at this here. 500 Victory Road, Quincy. 500 Victory Road, like how many different times is one place listed? Then they went and looked it up. It is a jacked up, torn down ass house. Just ridiculous. So he's working on Massachusetts, which is interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. Then this guy, in 2021, the same building had a sign that said Learning Center, Center. At this point, we are considering transforming Muckraker from an investigative outlet to a leering center. Now look, he goes and looks at the signs from that same place that they exposed, the Learning Center, and they go back in time at how many times it's been a daycare. So many times. And it's just bullshit. It really is not. Look at. Learning Center. So it was changed in 2021. It's a hot ass mess. This here is a contractor getting caught trafficking children through an airport at 5 a.m. Let me show you this guy.
Do you have any comment about children? You said that you were on vacation and now you're moving this small child to the airport. I thought you were on vacation. Ma'am, I thought you were on vacation. What happened to that? Do you have any comment about children that have gone missing that you've helped to escort across the country? Excuse me, is this MDM?
No.
We have footage here that a lot of these children don't know the sponsors that they are going to. What's going on? There's kids in the car here. They're moving these kids. They just turn the lights off. This is the MVM headquarters that we are currently at. There are kids in this van right here that they are moving. There's somebody that's going to come out. Let's see what they have to say. Hey, are you a manager here? Hey, we've spoken to some of these children, and they tell us that they don't know a lot of times the sponsors that they're going to. Do you have any comment on that at all?
No, I don't.
This is MVM, correct?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Excuse me. What's going on here? There they go. And notice they got out of here in such a hurry that they just left their bags here. Think about that. They got out of here. We don't even know what's in those bags. They just left them there and they took off in the van in such a hurry because that's how secret this operation is. They do not want you to know what is going on. That van that we just confronted, they are now taking off. We are following them. We believe that they're taking these kids to the airport. We have talked to some of these children that you guys escort, and some of these children have told us that their friends don't know the sponsors that they're going to. Are you okay with that? Sydney, why are you all wearing masks? Do you have any comment on that? Why are you hiding your identity? Do you have any shame, sir? There's still time to redeem yourself. Would you like to see the footage that we caught of the girl and what's going on? Were their IDs even checked just there? Were their IDs even just checked? Who checked their IDs? I didn't see any ID check just there. There was no ID check. Right. Why weren't their IDs checked? If I was going to go here...
I can't talk to you about that.
If I'm going to ask you, why do you guys ID American citizens when those children can't give you guys an ID number?
I'm not going to say anything on camera.
Are a lot of the kids coming over here, are they trafficked or like what's the...
Some are. I'm not going to lie. Some are.
Does that happen a lot that the kids come over here with a totally fake name?
It has.
Yeah?
I mean, there's no way for us to verify.
And so they come over here with a fake name and then they just come up with one. They just get a brand new identity. They could be anybody.
Have you seen the movie?
Sound of Freedom?
Yeah, Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Exactly like that. Shit happens.
You guys get the kids coming over here with the notes that are attached to them with the addresses, right? And a lot of times those addresses lead to like a sex trafficker or something, right? That's legit.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit that we can't tell.
What's the issue though? Why can't you guys talk on camera?
It's the policies that we have, the things that we can and can't say.
But why don't they want you talking on camera?
Politics.
Politics. What, like making the administration look bad? Or...
Yeah.
Damn.
Honestly, bro, I really wish there was more people like you.
Yeah.
Exposing this shit.
Yeah.
Because it sucks. It truly is a horrible thing.
Yeah.
It is a horrible thing. But me, I can't do that.
But you could blow the whistle on it.
No, I can't.
You could, but you're going to lose your job.
Yeah, exactly.
You work for MVM, and MVM is an organization that has moved thousands of...
I don't work for you.
You do not work for MVM?
I'm on vacation.
We've now landed in Houston, and it appears as if MVM has requested a police escort because they don't want media exposing what they're doing. But if you look, they have all of the kids wearing masks and they have them keeping their head down. All of the kids wearing masks, keeping their head down. They're telling them to hide their face. Many of these kids go missing. You said that you were on vacation and now you're moving this small child to the airport. I thought you were on vacation. Ma'am, I thought you were on vacation.
Is he legitimate muckracker? I don't know. I've watched quite a bit of the stuff that he has posted on his thing here. So he goes to, here he is. He is not the same guy right here as the other one. The other guy is Nick Shirley. This guy here is
front of the
different.
Great Minds Daycare Center.
So he went and he wanted to talk to them as well. So here's what they had to say to him.
By Somalians and stuff like that.
Have you ever seen any kids in this place here?
No, not that I know of. I just seen it, the building itself. I've never seen nobody come out the building or go in the building.
You've never seen anybody over there?
No, not at all.
So right now we are in front of the Great Minds Learning Academy. This is one of the many daycare centers, learning centers here in Columbus, Ohio that are associated with the Somali community. As you know, Nick Shirley put out a bombshell report about all these fraudulent daycare facilities in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So we wanted to come out to Columbus, Ohio, and investigate what might be going on in the second largest Somali community in the United States of America. So this place here is the first place we're gonna knock, and we're gonna see if anybody picks up or answers the door. Let's see. So it's locked. We're ringing the doorbell here, knocking on the door. Nobody's picking up, so we're not sure what the hell's going on here, but we're gonna get out of here. Now there's somebody over there. How you doing, sir? I'm sure you see the reports over the weekend about all the daycare centers in Minnesota. We just wanted to see what was going on. Did you know anything about this place here?
It's a daycare center owned by Somalians and stuff like that.
Do you ever see any kids there?
Not because they use the back door, so I won't know if they is.
They use the back door.
Yeah, I'll never.
So you hear him. He says, no, they use the back door, so I don't know. Watch this.
Never seen nobody come in here, but they use the back door.
But have you ever seen any kid? You live around here?
Yeah, on this building right here.
Oh, you're in this building?
Yeah.
You're in this building too? Hey, let me ask you, have you ever seen any kids in this place here?
No, not that I know of. They use the back, so I've never seen nobody come out the front.
You've never seen anybody over there?
No, not at all.
I just seen it, the building itself. I've never seen nobody come out the building or go in the building.
So we came to the back, just like those guys suggested, and there's nothing here. You know, we can keep poking around, but there's so many of these centers to go to. We're just getting started. So we're gonna go around the city. We're gonna go to a few more of these.
You see that there? This? Who in the hell would put their kid in a daycare that looks like this? There's bars back here, all rusted out. It's just nasty. So these are some of the things that he's been looking into. This dude here, this muckracker fella. But he's been doing all kinds of different things prior to this. So he says, this post does not allege wrongdoing by any specific daycare or individual in Ohio. We are conducting on-the-ground reporting following alleged daycare fraud cases in other states. At this stage, we are only asking questions and gathering information, which is a good clarifier to put on all of that stuff, you know. Well, I will say this, Fig. One of the things that I did notice is some of them said, oh no, we're after school. We're an after school program. So I specifically went and looked them up. They are licensed in advertising for 0 to 12 years old. So if you're an after school program, you would be like 5 years old to whatever age, right? Not 0, meaning an infant. It doesn't make sense. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of fraud for sure, but all right. So that's the muckracker guy, but let's go back to this here. Let's see. And I mean, when I was looking for daycare in Mississippi for my daughter and in Boston, I was able to walk into any daycare that I wanted to and check it out. Any daycare. Any daycare. Nobody ever said, oh no, you can't come in. No. Never. Okay, so this says, check the Google Map history on the location and you see 3 other daycare entities that came and went. It seems to be a shell game. So Amazing Kids Learning Academy now enrolling ages 6 weeks to 12 years old. Title X accepted. Hours are Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. So if you look at it, that's September 2014. October 2015, you now have Kitty Camp. Then if you keep going, you have Leaders Learning Academy. I mean, they're all, and the owners end up being the same. Everything ends up being the same except for the name of the place. Is that because they're getting shut down? I don't know. All right, there's this lady here. She's in Massachusetts, so I will let you listen to this now.
To Ohio and similar. My entire FYP today has been Nick Shirley, Somalis, and daycare fraud in Minnesota. And now it's starting to slowly transition to Ohio and similar fraud. And I keep commenting in comment sections, but I'm just going to make a video now that this similar fraud happens here in Massachusetts. I used to work for early intervention, and when I had an appointment to service a child who went to a daycare that received vouchers, I was never let in 100% of the time. Never let in. I was either not let in or no one would come to the door. And then since I didn't service that child, I did not get paid for my time because early intervention is part of the Department of Public Health. And there was one time when someone from a daycare that received vouchers did actually come to the door, and they told me that the child wasn't there. So then I had to contact the parent, and the parent assured me that they dropped their child off that morning, but I wasn't let in. So similar fraud happens probably across the country, but I know for a fact from working for early intervention that it does happen in Massachusetts as well. My entire
Okay, then we have this. This was really fucked up. This is really fucked up right here. A Minnesota Medicaid fraud investigation found that Ultimate Home Health Services, LLC, owned by Othman Mohammed, billed taxpayers $462 a day for care that was never provided. A vulnerable man was left alone to die in his apartment due to neglect. So let's watch this.
Investigation
This is so jacked.
In an East Side St. Paul apartment,
Found him like this, called 911.
a man is found dead.
He's got rigor and lividity, so he's been deceased for a long amount of time.
Across town, a phone rang with a call no parent ever wants.
To inform me that my son was deceased. And my first thought was, no, and start crying.
Mickey Klemmer's son, 39-year-old Rick Klemmer, died of what the medical examiner ruled natural causes, an enlarged heart. But what KARE 11's investigation uncovered through Medicaid billing records and police body cameras
Rick was not seen yesterday.
makes Rick's mom now suspect what played an enlarged role is neglect and fraud.
If they were really providing him the services they should have been, he would be here with me.
Rick was severely mentally ill, battling bipolar disorder and schizophrenia most of his adult life.
He had never lived on his own.
Until, in the summer of 2024, he moved out of a group home and into his own apartment, supported by a Medicaid-funded program called Integrated Community Supports, or ICS.
And that's where I think things went downhill.
Rick seemed to quickly deteriorate. This is what he looked like just before moving to his ICS apartment. 8 months later, the change drastic. Overseen by DHS, the Minnesota Department of Human Services, ICS is designed to help adults with disabilities live more independently in their own apartment with one-to-one daily assistance for things like health, safety, wellness, and household management.
Vulnerable people need these services.
Was Rick getting the necessary services? Records show his ICS provider, a private company called Ultimate Home Health Services, LLC, billed $461 every single day, claiming they provided Rick, on average, almost 12 hours of ICS service daily.
What would you call what you're seeing on that piece of paper then?
Fraud. They're billing for something that never happened.
Mickey says she visited her son every week, often spending an entire day at his apartment, and never saw an ICS worker.
I can definitely confirm that those days, there was nobody there. I was there. There was nobody there.
There was definitely nobody there to call 911 when Rick had a medical emergency and died alone.
When was the last time you guys seen him or known that he was alive?
Yesterday.
Around what time?
It was yesterday morning.
Time of death?
St. Paul police body cam footage, which KARE 11 worked with the Klemmer family to obtain, is a smoking gun.
I mean, to be honest, as like, you do, I do my daily check-ins. I have no idea what he does.
This ICS worker with Ultimate Home Health Services told the investigating officer they briefly check on Rick just once a day.
He is one of the most independent, residents here.
They check on him once a day, and they're billing for 12 hours per day. And he died in his house and was dead for, quote unquote, by the EMT a long time. What in the actual hell is going on? And I know, Medicare, Medicaid, they have really bad reputations for the fraud, but you have to think too, he said, well, he's very independent, so we don't have to do that much with him. We can just come in, check, he's fine, and we leave. That's not what you're billing for, sir. You're not billing for a 15-minute visit because he's independent. Clearly, he was dependent enough to get into this residential program, and the insurance approved 12 hours a day. Jeez Louise. I think the family is suing. I'm not really sure. And hey to everybody coming in. Sorry, I have it on mute so that you guys can hear this, but it's just brutal to that's my son yelling on his VR. But it really is brutal.
So we don't gotta do that much checking on him.
That's very different than the 12 hours of one-to-one service Ultimate Home was billing taxpayers. We wanted to ask the ICS company about their billing, but finding them is harder than you think. Their office is inside the back of an old strip mall, but no one was there during business hours. Their webpage is a skeleton. The generic placeholder address listed as Main Street, Anytown, Minnesota.
So, like we watched in the first live I did, these places are in these strip malls inside a building, and there'll be 10 to 20 home health care or daycare offices or autism offices or whatever in one place, and then there's nobody there. There's just nobody there. I mean, it's insane to me, but this hint here, 123 Main Street, Anytown, if you look up some of these websites, you end up finding that most of them are shells. They are like template, let me see if I can pull up what I saved yesterday. They're like just template bullshit, trash, not real. All right, let me show you guys this. So I was looking up ones in Massachusetts, you know, because that's where I'm from and whatever. So I just started looking up in the A's, okay? So this has a number, which is good. It has a home. It has About Us, okay? So you go to About Us. It's another generic picture. And you go down and it gives the mission, generic photo, who we are. They started in 2023 for, you know, children with autism. They have a vision. Contact us. So there's contact information. Where are the doctors, the ABA therapists, the BCBAs, anything? Yeah, it looks legit. No. This is all just, it's like a shell, right? So if you go here, let me see. I'm looking for something right here because I downloaded some stuff to show you guys, but it's under favorites. And then this is one of the addresses for one of the places. It's somebody's house. This one in Worcester is literally somebody's house. Right? I mean, what the hell is going on here? Why is this somebody's house? Is this the other one? This is another one like that. Look at the About Us. What is this? Info at autism TBS. So it's 30, it's this in Worcester, right? Which is what I think I was just showing you guys. That might have been the actual address. Yeah, that was one of the addresses. There were other addresses that were like rundown homes. Like, what? So they have all of these things. And this address is this house that I showed you guys a second ago. And it says it's like a home, which, I mean, you can have a home, I guess, but This little van is for this church over here, by the way. I don't know. To me, the more you start digging, the stranger things get. Hey, Nanny Sharon. Hire an actor. Well, okay, Fig, but listen. I'm not here to argue the validity of these things, but when we dismiss stuff without digging, that's a disservice too, right? Because you can say something like, oh yeah, they could have hired an actor, when kids are really being trafficked like you're saying. So either dig into it or don't dispel it, is what I'm trying to say. So if you don't trust that creator, that guy, whatever his name is there, go dig into him. Go look further.
According to Secretary of State records, Ultimate Home Health Services manager is Othman Mohammed. His LinkedIn page claims he's also a nurse at Hennepin Healthcare. Othman did not respond to any of Carol Levin's attempts to contact him. But his company is now part of a story that in Minnesota sounds all too familiar. Alleged overbilling in a DHS overseen Medicaid program exploding in costs.
The level of fraud in these programs is staggering.
While announcing indictments in the wake of a prior Carol Levin investigation, federal prosecutor Joe Thompson said the DOJ was also finding fraud in the ICS program and at the state capitol.
The massive fraud that is going on in ICS.
In a fraud hearing, an ICS client named Kane Pence warned that taxpayers were being billed for services he was not getting.
$276 a day in my case, and they don't do jack. They do nothing.
Carol Levin's analysis of state Medicaid data reveals ICS billing has gone up a staggering amount from $26 million in 2022 to $168 million by 2024. Back at the St. Paul apartment where Rick died, other residents were too scared of retaliation to go on camera, but shared with Carol Levin their records, which reveal hundreds of thousands of dollars per year paid for services they claim not to be fully getting.
These vulnerable people need help. You're billing for them, then give them the help. And if you're not, that's fraud.
In an East Side St. Paul apartment.
It's absolutely fraud. Absolutely fraud. No, I'm not making this a topic of my channel. This is a topic, and I do look at both sides. There's more stuff up here. I'm clearly looking at both sides. I think the only way to do research is to dig and look at everything, not just one thing. Because if I say, well, all the daycares they went to are fraudsters, without digging further, then yes, that's wrong. But if I'm relying on the guy who was sitting with Nick, who's been digging into this for years, and then I go use the resources he gave me and I dig, and I come up with the same conclusion, I may be on that side of it, but I still have to dig. Like, I went and found this lady here, and she says that there's not fraud. Let's see.
Message I got was from a friend of mine asking me if I'd seen that video that wackadoodle Nick Shirley did going to that like quick learning center or whatever it's called. And I'm not saying there's not fraud going on in Minnesota. I'm just saying that some of it seems to be from Nick Shirley. So he goes to this learning center. It's a daycare that has taken millions of dollars. He's knocking, nobody's coming to the door. But it would seem that he's actually at the back door. So here he is at the front door. It's a restaurant called Abdi's Kitchen. That learning center.
Wrong. It's not. She's wrong. So I'm pulling something up. Hold on. Let me let you guys listen to her. Let me mute while I'm pulling something else up. Hey, Beach Armor.
Center shut down due to multiple violations, none of which I don't believe had to do with fraud. But he doesn't tell his followers that it's actually a restaurant. So I got a bunch of messages about that. And then I got this comment on Instagram, which is a bad faith question. This guy is MAGA. And there has been a huge MAGA push to think about Somali people as fraudsters. Usually what they're referencing is the Feeding Our Future case. And yes, a lot of Somali people were implicated in that case. But what they conveniently leave out is this woman, Amy Bach. In 2016, she founded the nonprofit Feeding Our Future. And in 2020 is when the
So here I am looking at the other side, correct? Listen to what she's saying. She's refuting everything, right? Okay. Hold on. And here's how she does it. We're going to go step by step. A white woman, absolutely true, is behind the biggest fraud case in Minnesota. She is connected with a Somali man. Together, she's at the very top. But together, they defrauded people out of so much. So much, right? However, let's go through this. She says he goes to this learning center. It's a daycare, right? That has taken millions of dollars. She's saying that he's saying this, right? He's knocking. Nobody's coming to the door. But it seems that he's actually at the back door. Well, is he? Okay, let's find out if he is or not. Here you go. This is the 1411 Nicollet Ave. Map this location. Okay? Share this tab instead. Here we go. We're going to pull all the way up into here and go here. Here's the restaurant, and they talk to them. Here, this is November of 2017. I wish I had a better number, but, you know, a better map. Maybe I could go to Google Earth and it might have something better. But here is the entrance to the daycare. This is not the entrance to the daycare. This is a restaurant. This is the advertisement. He talked, and this is 2017, he talked to the owners of the restaurant who were right here, who came out and said, no, we've never seen anybody go in there. But, to prove it further, she's saying that it was shut down. Hold on. So here I'm reading her thing. So here he is at the front door. Remember, at the front door, and she talks to this guy. It's a restaurant, she says, called Albie's Kitchen. That learning center is shut down. Is it? I don't think it is. Next renewal date, last renewed or updated on January 1, 2026. Initial effective date, October 17th, 2017. They were just reviewed in June. And it says, here's the facility. Areas used were not in good repair. Crib mattresses and sheets did not meet safety requirements. Written parental permissions were not obtained for medicine or topical products. Program did not follow healthcare providers' written instructions. Licensing action was not posted in a prominent place. Teacher or assistant teacher did not directly supervise an aide. Children were not placed in the correct age category. Now, if, like they were saying, this is only an after-school place, why were they concerned about cribs? But we're about to debunk her whole bullshit, all right? This lady here. She's the other side. She's saying it's actually shut down. That learning center is shut down due to multiple violations, none of which, I don't believe, had to do with fraud. Okay. Let's see here. Let me show you this again. Here you go. March of 2025. Program practices. The program was not operating within the terms of the license. I mean, is that fraud? Yeah, I mean, licensing review. The program did not report a death, serious injury, or emergency as required. They did not submit a background study when requested. The files did not contain physical examinations. Equipment and furniture not in good repair. The space was not clean. The crib mattresses did not meet safety standards. The staff didn't do their training. The staff didn't do this and that. The license holder did not comply with the terms of the order of a conditional license. This goes back to 2022. This under this name. They've been under other names, the same exact friggin' place. Attendance, facility, electrical outlets. Space wasn't clean. Hazardous objects. Carpets were not in good repair. Infant bottles not labeled. All of these crazy things were happening. There was a fine order in 2024 to this guy here. Order to pay a fine for a background study violation. Looks like fine was only $200, which isn't that bad. But then, hold on. So, all of this happened, right? Okay. Let's go to this one again. And let's listen to her. It's the same day. This is all the same day. Okay? She says what she had to say. Here's the representative right here. What is this if this place is closed down? What is that? What's going on right here? Are these children? Are these kids? Hold on, it couldn't be because it's shut down, right?
We are aware of a video that's
Let's
being...
listen.
Is there fraud going on here? No, it's a video. I just want to know. What's your response? Huh?
Get the out of here.
What's your response to the allegations? Is there fraud going on here? And is there children? That's all.
Don't harass me for here.
We are aware of a video that's being circulated that has gained local and national attention about child care centers in Minnesota. While we have questions about some of the methods that were used in the video, we do take the concerns that the video raises about fraud very seriously. Each of the facilities mentioned in the video has been visited at least once in the last 6 months as part of our typical licensing process. And in fact, our staff are out in the community today to visit each of these sites again so that we can look into the concerns that were raised in the video. So I won't go into any detail about whether or not any of these have any open investigations. I will share that our team was notified that Quality Learning Center closed just over a week ago. And I believe the details that were given at that time were around space concerns. And that's what was shared. The previous one I mentioned that had been closed some time ago was Mako.
Oh. So she says, this is today. It's also today. She says, yeah, but they closed due to space issues. What's this? What's happening here? What is going on? Yeah, my son's having a ball. And yes, Fig, this happens in so many places, right? So what does that make it? Fine? It makes it okay? No. No. This is another one. This one's in Maine, okay? This one's in Maine, and he calls. It's not. Okay? Daycare, home-based daycare, call for fees, capacity 6. Hey, Miss Beverly. Thank you for stopping by Jijo Muhammad. We create a warm home-like environment where every child is treated the same, blah, blah, blah. We are located in Lewiston. Our home-based program offers balanced learning, etc. Our child care programs are thoughtfully designed to meet the unique needs of young children. Our highly skilled staff are committed to fostering a stimulating environment. Stock image. Okay, of course. Hold on.
Hello?
Hi.
Who is this?
Oh, this is Tom from Massachusetts. I was told to call you guys.
What do you want?
Oh, I was told that you guys run a daycare.
No.
Oh, your number was listed. I'm moving up to Lewiston, Auburn area.
No, I'm not standing. I'm not have English too much.
Oh, is this Jijo Muhammad?
Yeah.
Yeah. It says that under the phone number that you guys have a daycare, and I was wondering how much you guys charged.
Wait one.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, wait. Stuck in my son. My son? My son. Bahala pa kang sabihin. What you said? Hello there.
Oh,
Hello?
Hello. I was just calling to see how much. My wife and I are moving to Lewiston and Lisbon, and you guys were listed as a daycare, and I just wanted to see how much you guys charge.
Daycare.
Ilma ihay na niya.
Oh.
No, أنا هاد ilma mahay daw shkay na yun.
Oh, she doesn't do that right now.
Okay, it says Jijo Muhammad. I was trying to find a daycare, and it had you guys listed.
But she's currently not doing that right now.
Maybe I have the wrong. Is this 77 Rideout Ave in Lewiston?
Hello?
Guess not. Okay. Which is fine. If they're not there, they're not there. But daycare.com has them there. So he started calling. Do I think he should just be looking at Somali names or Mohammed? No. I think that's a little crazy to me. I said that in my last live stream as well. This is not strictly Muslim people. It is not strictly Somali people. I don't like that people are trying to do that. You can't just make it a racial issue, that or religious issue, whatever, illegal immigrant issue, permanent resident, whatever it is. Don't just make it that way. So here's the other thing that I was covering. There's a restaurant in Minneapolis called Safari. It seats 35 people. It claimed to serve 18,000 meals per day to hungry children. This is under the white lady. Okay. Safari restaurant. Physical reality, 35 seats per day in this little place. They claimed 18 meals per day, 18,000 per day, and the volume was billed to the system. Okay? The whistleblowers were ignored. This is not new. This has been going on forever with this mess of a situation here. This was really sick. When I started reading this, I'm like, this is such bullshit. It's bullshit. But, so, in the summer of 2020, just months after the fraud began, MDE officials contacted the U.S. Department of Agriculture with concerns about feeding our future's rapid growth. A whistleblower inside MDE alerted supervisors of a 1,900% spike in meal counts, kickbacks, and shell companies. In March 2021, MDE issued a stop pay notice withholding all federal funds from Feeding Our Future. Then, Feeding Our Future was sued. The nonprofit filed a lawsuit alleging that MDE's actions constituted racial discrimination against minority-operated companies. It was 2020. Everything was racist. MDE resumed payments. Governor Walz has blamed Ramsey County judge for ordering the payments to continue, but Judge John Guthman issued a rare public statement denying he ever made such a ruling. The payments, he said, were made voluntarily by the state after Feeding Our Future claimed it had resolved the deficiencies, which it did not. The FBI didn't raid Feeding Our Future until January 2022, 2 years after the fraud began, more than a year after MDE first tried to stop the payments. In July of 2021, while the fraud was going on, Governor Walz personally awarded Outstanding Refugee Award to a fraudster from another nonprofit linked to this scheme, the Whistleblowers. On November 30th, 2025, an account claiming to represent 480 employees of the Minnesota Department of Human Services posted a devastating accusation. Quote, Tim Waltz is 100% responsible for massive fraud in Minnesota. We let Tim know of this fraud early on, hoping for a partnership in stopping fraud, but no, we got the opposite response. Tim systematically retaliated against whistleblowers using monitoring, threats, repression, and did his best to discredit fraud reports. The post garnered 37 million views before the account was suspended. It was later restored. The whistleblowers allege the agency leaders appointed by Waltz willfully disregarded rules and laws to keep fraud reports quiet, even to the extent of threatening families of whistleblowers. So all of this started happening. They tried to go after it. Nothing happened. He moves on in his Substack to the Quality Leering Center, which is just ridiculous. So, if you want to understand how thoroughly the state failed, look no further than the Quality Leering Center, misspelled on their own sign. This Minneapolis daycare received $1.2 million in public funding in 2024 alone. The Minnesota Department of Human Services investigated the center 47 different times since May of 2021. They documented over 100 violations. State officials physically visited the location. They observed its condition. They cataloged the violations. The government continued to approve payments to the daycare despite the blatant red flags. A specific case detailed an inspector visiting the Quality Learning Center and ignoring the crumbling state of the facility, dismissing the violations with a signature. I don't even think they really went there, if I'm being 100% honest. I don't even think there are kids in there. I don't think there are children in there. I think they're lying and they just pencil whipped it. You see that in business all the time. Things are totally pencil whipped and nobody gives a shit. Period. They don't care. So, let's see. The autism services. So this here, his Substack, I'm going to save just so we can continue to go through this stuff here because the Substack is very interesting. We should watch all of that. This is Nate Friedman exposing a migrant shelter in Massachusetts. Governor Maura Healey knew all about this. $42 per one meal, $100,000 a month for Lyft rides. They're totally free. After they are given cars and other things in Massachusetts, which is very true. Essentially, everything is free. This is probably why Mayor Wu fights for illegals so hard. He here is a former shelter director, so he goes over this a little bit.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is a nice facility.
I am doing a story on Holiday Inns in the area, and I just wanted to ask a few questions.
And I'm going to have to ask that you either stop recording or leave.
Oh, it's by Elliott Human Services.
Yeah.
This company I know, they charge $42 per meal from the taxpayer. What do you do for work here?
It's private property, you're trespassing.
Okay. Will you keep saying that?
You're trespassing. As soon as they say you're trespassing, you have to leave or
Okay.
you're arrested.
My name is John Featherstone. I'm a former migrant shelter director in Massachusetts. I helped out in a couple different sites. Everything is free. I cannot stress the word everything is free. Everybody has a nice car. Most of them have nice cars. But when they have a doctor's appointment in Boston or they have a immigration hearing in New Hampshire, which is an hour and a half away, you think they use their own car? Nope. They say, oh, I need an Uber. I need a Lyft.
How much is given for rides for Uber and Lyft?
The amount of money that we would spend on Ubers and Lyft was well in excess of $100,000 a month.
A month?
A month, yeah. As good as Lyft and Uber had it, Amazon had it 10 times better.
And how's that? How did Amazon work into this?
Every day I would order tens of thousands of dollars worth of product from Amazon every single day, 7 days a week. One day I would do a huge diaper delivery, and the next day I would do a formula delivery. The next day I would buy, toothbrushes and hair dryers and combs and strollers, and anything that they needed, they got.
Now, as I continued my way around the shelter, I noticed this school bus.
That is free daycare provided to the shelter.
Wow. Okay. So every day they take the kids to a daycare center?
No, they come there and provide daycare right on site there.
Oh, right on site.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it? As the hotel got overtaken by migrant families, there was not enough capacity and there were fights breaking out over washers and dryers. So the state contracted this company to come in 5 days a week and do everybody's laundry. You put your laundry out by 7 o'clock, it's back by 5 o'clock, and it all comes back folded in these nice bags, and it's free, or the taxpayers of Massachusetts pay for it. And, the media wants to make it sound like most of the residents are escaping, the horrors of Haiti. But they go, well, I was in Chile for 10 years after the earthquake in Haiti. And you're like, what? So you didn't leave Haiti like this year? No, I left 10 years ago and I went to Chile. And then they made us work. So then we went to Brazil, and we were content in Brazil. And then I'm like, well, why'd you come to America? Well, we came to America because Joe Biden told us everything was free.
Now, the migrant shelters are no more. We had a hotel down in near Mass and Cass in Dorchester that they ended up turning for a little while into a homeless shelter. Then they turned it into a migrant hotel. I can say, when it was both things, everything was 100% free. So all your Lyfts, all your Ubers, if you needed to go get a ride to do whatever it was that you needed to do, it's 100% free. Okay? This is something by this reporter about home health fraud, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I agree. We are pitted against each other. For everything, we always have been. That's the way things keep going. You need somebody to hate, so why not each other? It's a good idea because it'll keep everything going. So I do agree with that. I don't disagree. But when all of your stuff, when so much stuff is so fucking expensive right now, and we're giving away so many things, we have to really stop and think, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Now this is the same learning center that the other lady on the other side said is closed. Okay? Said it's closed. But if you look at Nick Shirley, there's no video camera here. There's no trespassing here. A week ago, all this comes out, and look. Now all of this is up. Why do we need to hate? If we hate each other, if black people hate white people, if Asian people hate Somali people, if Hispanic people hate Jewish people, whatever, when do we have time to hate them? We're too busy looking at each other. We're too busy hating each other. We're too busy critiquing what's going on with you, me, and the third to pay any attention to what's happening in society. You know? Yeah, if we're not looking at corporations, corruption, what our government's doing to us, how they're fucking us over, then, you know, it's easier to hate each other. Alright, I think the husband just got home. I wanted to keep this to an hour. We have so much more to cover, but including that Substack, which is super interesting that I want to get to. So either maybe tonight, I mean, it is New Year's Eve. We'll probably play some games with the kids, but my daughter is like out of here. You know, I'm sure she's going to a party or something. Scott's been up and out all day getting rid of his Corvette, which is wonderful. Absolutely. You know why I think people are in denial a little bit It is uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable to say, well, the majority of these people are Somali, and as a white lady, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm calling this out. Does it make me feel like people could feel like I'm racist? Of course. And that's exactly the feeling they want you to have. Okay? That's exactly the feeling that works so you don't cover stuff like this. Just like when Nick went to the daycares, he told them, this ain't a little Joey daycare. Why don't you go to a white person's daycare? You're racist. I'm afraid of you because of the color of your skin, they told him. It's been put in people's heads that it is what it is, and too bad. I'm going to call it out on every single side. I don't give a shit. It is what it is. This is wrong. Something's very wrong here. Massachusetts, I'm looking into North Carolina, and I don't care. They could be, you know, Christian white ladies that look exactly like me, and I'm still going to be like, ma'am? No, I don't think so. Well, I try to dig as much as I can, because like Fig said, I don't think anybody should be just looking at one side. I mean, it just doesn't matter, right? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I voted for Trump too. So what does that have to do with anything? What does it have to do with anything? If I run around saying I'm MAGA, you trust me less? Does that make sense to you? If I said to you, Fig, and let's say you've been around my channel 2 or 3 years, you've seen the stuff I cover, and you may or may not like me. I don't know how you feel about me, but could you say something like, oh yeah, I trust Chasing's research. I think she does pretty good research. But then on Wednesday, I come out and say to you, yeah, hell yeah, I'm MAGA. Does that change everything for you? Because to me, that's crazy town. Thank you. You too. Right. You can never tell. And you shouldn't be able to tell. What does that have to do with the work that I do? Or the cases that I cover? Or the missing people that I look at? Right? Like how? It doesn't make sense to me. Oh, what's my... Oh God, that's quite a long stream. Trump got my vote because of the autism stuff that he promised RFK in the first election and didn't deliver on. We wanted a full investigative panel, a commission formed on autism and vaccines. We wanted a real study done. He promised RFK that. Then he stopped answering his calls. So we were hoping, you know, that was something that's going to happen. You know, there's never really been a this could take me a year to explain. So whatever. I was willing to take the lesser of two evils at that time. I agree with some of the things he's done. I don't agree with a lot of the things that he's done. As a human being, I think he loves his kids. I think, you know, he wants the best for them. I think he thinks he wants the best for America. But in his mind, the best is his way. It's not anybody else's way. Even Elon, who he hired to do stuff, it's not his way either. So if Trump hires you, puts trust in you, tells you to do your thing, does he really trust you, or does he just want you to carry out his agenda? I don't know. Is it more important for him to insult Biden and the Biden administration than it is to, you know, just be decent? Yes. It's aggravating. Sometimes I wish I could just hop through the computer and whack him directly in his mouth, you know, but you can't. What can you do? There's not a lot you can do. Hey, Connie. It doesn't matter who they are. Exactly. Exactly. It doesn't matter. I am way more independent than I am anything else because I feel like they're the same fucking you know, this is one wing, that's another wing. It's the same fucking thing. They don't care. Vote local. Get involved locally where stuff affects you locally. Make your voice heard. Push as hard as you can. Don't shut up. Those things I think are important. But, you know, we get lost in all of the things. For sure, people saying that they are MAGA to the extreme is different than saying I'm on the right or I voted based on party lines. You know, I voted on issues. For me, that's what I voted on, issues. I don't hide it, and I'm not afraid of it at all. We need to look in all of the fraud. All of it. Hey, babe! Alright, off I go. I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Okay, I love you. Bye.